Out of Date says there'll be consequences of the war, but there are more pressing matters at hand. The last World Eater has been left undisturbed with the tree while you focused on the war. He thought someone with your light perspective and key would have had different priorities and faced the World Eaters before resolving the tribe war. Regardless, Out of Date is grateful the tribe war is over. Out of Date understands the road has been rough, but you already know what's left to end this journey, and it'll be tough. You're the only one that's strong enough to face the last World Eater. The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive. Only time will tell what the future holds, and if it will bring a lasting peace for those that make it to the end. Out of Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet. He appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's had urgent news from his friend Whiz in the northwest. He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Whiz. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Whiz and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next. Out of Date says that Whiz is worried now that the Northwest World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Whiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head northwest as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Says you should take it easy. Just listen. You might hear something important. Not just from me. The Surge Surf Factory. Keep your eye out for Whiz while you're here. Let's see. Whiz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Whiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Whiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Whiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go, but says it helps to have friends with you to plumb those depths. He set up camp at the foot of the Tree of Life. It's gotten more difficult for it to find defenseless prey, as it's already eaten most of them. Whiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Looper Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one direction, you can always lay your own course. Ultimately, it's your choice. You were the one to be wronged and have lived with the consequences. He believes in consequence as it's a direct result of action.
Getting brighter every time.
Oh, no. Go look at yourself in a mirror.
Can't. Everyone you looked in cracked.
That was only one time.
I have a shop full of shattered mirrors that says you're wrong.
Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you just a pawn of fate? Glad to hear that. He only wishes he was that sure about himself. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Says they're unified in the ways that matter. But that's not nearly as important as this. Whiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths, but there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's Tinkertonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-go-in. He can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha Fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. He found it stranded on a shore nearby and got Gizmo to help tow it here so they could get to work on it. Toxanol probably made it to go under surf and see the damage they've caused for themselves. Don't forget the past. Learn. Look at the notices on that board. No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Whiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his guppos. A surge surf factory was one of the cleaner ways to make power, until the surf turned into goo and clogged it all up, that is. The thicker the surf became with goo, the more the machinery clogged up and stopped working. Like most things from the bygone. There are sure to be more tracks around here, maybe by the shore. stay on top and you'll be fine. Impressed you found that, despite all the goo. This place has held power for a long time. In many ways, it still does. Anything that's been ruined can be fixed, but it took a long time to get this bad. It'll take a long time to clean it up, too. Glad you found that track. There's a lot to learn about this world, both here and beyond. An old home. Could be something to it. You found a bric-a-brac that's not absolutely flat. Don't want to point a finger, but the Mecha Stadium is near here. Bad. Everything is at stake. That's shut and good. Not opening for you. Need a key. Just a few moves left. Make them count. What you do here matters to you and the world. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. That's just nasty. Biohazards make you puke. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. If you're tired, maybe find a place to rest. New days always start with hope. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. Well, he means slick as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact your fur's shiny.
How come that bit all bulb?
He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Merc Puff is crunching bark by the minute. It's big enough to make waves beneath the surface, and that's a challenge in itself. But it also has a hard shell, so you need to target its head. This is an epic already. How it ends is up to you. Bet something's up there. Grace under pressure. Don't trip it, just keep moving. Reserves attack. All fired up. Sometimes what you'll see doesn't feel real until it brings you back to that particular moment, like stepping into a time machine. It's hard to shake these memories and their accompanying feelings. Our brains play tricks on us, so it will take effort to avoid them. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. Good thing you recalled how to activate the automaton's health injector. That will be useful. That paid off. The night feels dangerous and exciting. There's a serenity about this spot. It's a place for rest.